to supply the Army Field Commander with accurate and timely information on the strength, disposition, and activity of hostile forces, to supply this information around the clock in all kinds of weather, to deny the enemy the cloak of darkness, to be able to track him with radar, to be able to photograph his supply routes and installations, and then to be able to spot his movements and camp areas with infrared. This is the task of the new generation of Army surveillance aircraft. This is the task of the OV-1D Mohawk. From its inception, the Mohawk was designed for growth, to accept new or improved systems of surveillance as the state-of-the-art advanced. There are some familiar features. The bulging canopy doors and the sloping nose are a family characteristic of all the Mohawks, starting with the OV-1A. And like the A, the D model has a photographic capability, but it has been markedly improved. Added to the rotating KA-76 camera are two other camera locations. A forward-looking panoramic camera in the nose, aimed 20 degrees below the horizon, and one aimed vertically, located in a small blister aft of the primary camera. Each of these panoramic KA-60 cameras encompasses an angle of 180 degrees. The windows of all cameras are optical quality plate glass. Both vertical camera windows are protected by doors that open only when these photographic systems are selected and energized. A cathode ray tube is available for each of the three camera systems to expose each film frame to real-time navigation data and other identifying information from the central data annotation system. This data annotation system also is employed during electronic surveillance. Data recorded on sensor imagery in alphanumeric and/or binary coded decimal form enables the SLAR observer to determine target positions on the displays without computation. The binary coded decimal form on both SLAR and IR film permits the use of an automatic imagery reader at ground interpretation facilities. Like the OV-1B, the D has side-looking airborne radar. Carrying the antenna in a pod, mounted externally on the right-hand side of the aircraft, provides a deceptive family resemblance. However, in performance, the newer APS-94D provides a higher degree of range resolution over the APS-94C installed in the B model. This range resolution has been increased by a factor of 3. Whereas APS-94C in the B model could detect jeeps or larger vehicles, the system employed in the D is capable of detecting personnel. The SLAR-equipped Mohawk can operate beyond the range of tactical air defenses in a standoff mode to monitor vehicular traffic for a considerable distance in the enemy-held area. Regular patrols can be maintained to preclude surprise buildup and attack without violating international borders. Antenna yaw stabilization permits usable, non-smearing imagery even during turbulent weather conditions. In the cockpit, the recorder processor viewer presents the observer with a 9-inch wide filmed recording of the SLAR cathode ray tube imagery. To facilitate detection of moving targets, fixed terrain imagery is recorded on the left half of the film, while both moving objects and fixed terrain are recorded on the right half. Ground speed and drift received from either the inertial navigation system or set manually control the film drive. The film is processed automatically by a disposable photoprocessor assembly. The pre-mixed monobath chemical is good for up to 8 hours and is discarded after the mission. Maintenance is simplified by the use of the built-in test capability. This capability not only provides for pre-flight testing, but also full-time in-flight monitoring. Missionizing of the OV-1D is rapid. It can be changed from full side-looking airborne radar to full infrared surveillance capability within 30 minutes. Both versions maintain the 3-camera photographic capability. The SLAR antenna is removed. The SLAR interconnection box is replaced by the IR power supply and scan converter package. The SLAR transmitter receiver is replaced by the IR receiver. The SLAR signal processor is replaced by the IR recorder, heat exchanger, and electronic package. The recorder and control are replaced by the IR control indicator group. New large access doors and palletized equipment permits rapid interchange of components without specialized ground handling equipment. An aircraft that has flown SLAR missions during the day can be reconfigured and be available for a night IR mission while the crew is being briefed. The cameras are reloaded, the plane refueled, and the aircraft is ready for its night infrared mission. All other components are common to both missions. The infrared surveillance system used in the D model, the AAS-24, offers several advantages over the previously used AAS-14 system. Basically, the system consists of a high-resolution, electronically roll-stabilized receiver using 5-inch wide film. Vehicles with warm engines, small cooking fires, and even personnel are not immune to detection by the improved IR sensors. Foliage and the cover of darkness can no longer mask hostile activities. Approaching silently, the Hawk's IR sensors detect their presence, a presence revealed both in the cockpit display and recorded on film for later evaluation by ground intelligence. Resolution on the recording film has been increased by a factor of 8. One apparent advantage of the OV-1D systems that could develop into a most significant one is its ease of imagery interpretation. Like the SLAR, the newer IR has a built-in test system with the same advantages of pre-flight testing and in-flight monitoring. The ASN-86 inertial navigation system, referred to as the INS, provides the OV-1D with more than exceptionally accurate steering and position data for the pilot. Consisting of a gyro-stabilized platform for sensing aircraft rotation and acceleration, an in-flight data computer, and a control indicator in the cockpit, the INS also supplies signals to the navigation instruments, the autopilot, the data annotation system, and the surveillance systems. It can store up to 9 pre-selected destinations or addresses and may be updated in flight if desired. While the basic structure of the OV-1D remains the same as earlier versions, the wing center section, as shown here in red, has been strengthened to carry the extra weight of the improved sensors. The installation of Lycoming L701 engines, rated at 1,400 shaft horsepower each, up 300 horsepower from earlier models, provides safe, single-engine hot day performance and retains the STOL performance of the earlier models. maximum takeoff gross weight is 18,337 pounds for the D in full SLAR configuration. In full IR configuration, the maximum takeoff gross weight is about 150 pounds less. External fuel tanks add an additional 300 gallons of fuel to the 276 gallons carried internally. The OV-1D is the first Mohawk to be equipped with electronic countermeasure equipment. APR-25 and 26 radar warning systems on the D warn the pilot when the aircraft is being illuminated by radar signals. Carried on the outboard wing store stations are the ALQ-80 radar jammer and the ALQ-67 fuse jammer. All ECM warning equipment is controlled by the pilot at a common cockpit threat identification display. This cockpit display alerts the pilot to the type of radar tracking him, as well as the azimuth.